What is up, and welcome to another edition of the All Basketball Podcast. Once again, it's your host, Maurice Dixon, coming to you on April 5th in decent spirits. But y'all see the jersey behind me. If you viewing on YouTube, we still gonna represent Carolina to the fullest because we went to the championship game and we eliminated our rivals and we ended Coach K's career. He started his career with one loss from us. His first loss was from us, and his last loss was from us. So even though Kansas has beaten us the last two times we played them in the tournament, if I'm not mistaken, we still got the upper hand as far as that. So, but with that being said, congratulations to Kansas. Congratulations to the Tar Heels for a unimaginable run. I mean, we almost didn't get in the tournament, and to make it that far, I didn't even believe we would go that far, but to make it that far is great. But I got a couple of guys on the show. We're going to talk about last night's title game. We got Henri returning for the first time in a while. Unfortunately, he's a Duke fan, but Henri, I guess you're somewhat of a happy man. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Last night was a great game, and celebrated last night after the game, and was up late celebrating Kansas victory. So man, I know my boy Duke didn't win, but Carolina lost was almost just as good. So especially that type of meltdown. But it was overall great game. I think the first half, Kansas came out, got up by 7, and then Carolina came right back and built up a big lead. Kansas they were missing a lot of easy shots, a lot of layups, just things weren't just going their way. They're not a real good 3-point shooting team anyway, or they really don't take a whole lot of threes, period, or they didn't at least. So they started taking ill-advised threes, which isn't like part of their game, unless they, are hitting a lot of twos. So they started doing that, and so next thing you know, Carolina's up, up big. Everything is, looking great for the Heels. It appeared, I could be wrong, but it appeared that, a lot of the crowd was going for the Tar Heels, a lot of people there were Tar Heels was deep there, man. So I was just like, man. So, but, second half, those different adjustments that were made, I think that the Kansas players believed in, number one, they believed in themselves, and they also believed in their coach. Bill Self had talked to them about what happened, and I believe it was in 2000, reminded them about that, and they weren't there, but they believed in their coach, and what he had done in the past. And unfortunately, that's something Hubert Davis, he couldn't, go back and say, hey, remember we did the championship and everything like that. He didn't have that. He was a first-year coach. So that's nothing against him. But, Kansas were able to use that, to their advantage, speed things up, and then also, Carolina, some of the players weren't exactly the same. Manic, it didn't seem the same. And it could be, based on, head injury, getting hit a couple of times and stuff like that. I mean, he didn't seem the same in the second half, So I think that had a lot to do with him, unfortunately. And then you had, Beko, he just, ankle injury, and as the thing just wearing on him more and more, it just started taking effect. Puff Johnson did good, I was surprised, and
Let me stop you right there. Ask, do you really think Kansas made an adjustment, or they just got more? I just feel like they just got more rebound. They just finally stopped us from getting second chance points, and they were able to. We was already missing, so you just off those misses, you just run down the other end and get easy baskets. And then, flicked it shot. Remy Martin, he got going.
Yeah, well, I mean, Remy Martin got going. I think, Caleb Love, I think they made adjustments in that, like, Love, he took a lot of shots in the second half. He took 18 shots, just in the second half alone, and I think a lot of those shots he could have passed off to somebody else to take. But, he's used to taking that, like, he'll go around that screen and, he'll have that distance and then he, shoot that three, or the long two. Well, what Kansas did was as soon as he came around that screen, the guy was right there. That was a big adjustment. And so, but sometimes he would actually still shoot it, but it was a much tougher shot, So I think they made little adjustments, but like you said, there were, a lot of missed shots and things like that on Carolina's part as well. So.
Okay, that was a good point. Mike, you see the game going the same way. I mean, what could we have done differently? You have to unmute yourself.
All right, I was pumped up, 15-point lead. I was actually out, and I was telling people, if Carolina loses the game, there's going to be some guys transferred. And we all laughed about it because we thought it was over. And, man, I came back. I was on the text with you all, and then the text messages just weren't looking too well. Oh, man, they're making a run. So I cut the TV back on. And what I saw was Kansas just really scoring in the paint. They were getting boards and getting easier shots in Carolina. And I noticed Carolina was still trying to push the tempo, which didn't make a lot of sense to me. And shooting early in the shot clock. Like, if you're up 15, they're trying to get up 25, 30. As opposed to still running your set, still cutting. I've seen Carolina play a slower paced game and still make efficient buckets. And it just seemed like Love was like, well, okay, for the second half, man, I got the green light. Look at the screens, I'm just going to pull. There's still 20 seconds on the shot clock, but he's cranking it up. And then didn't have the board, and they had run out. But they were getting transition point, 8 points, and it was just kind of remind me of Baylor without the little threat. And we couldn't stop the momentum. All the timeouts Davis was calling, it didn't seem like they were doing anything different. And then I noticed too that there were some guys. They got two guys that really can't shoot free throws well. Well, I know that that's not our best defense, but if you got a guy shooting 30% from the free throw line, maybe it's out. Especially when you got a 1-1 situation. And we didn't split that at all.
But when do you start fouling? Why would I start fouling them? I'm gonna have to bring in, like, unless you're talking about bringing in McCoy and Walton and just come in and foul. What coach has ever done that?
He coached that losing in their final game. You play the foul game. I don't know what basketball y'all been watching, but if I'm down by 5 points and Kansas has the ball, you go in the foul mode. If you're trying to win.
Right, but we were never out because remember we tied the game back up. So if you just talking about, well, maybe just foul.
Kansas shot themselves in the foot when they tried to inball the ball and the dude stepped out. So that gave us the ball back. I know that was super late in the game, but there were points where we needed the ball and we tried to just lock down and play D. Especially when what's your boy name?
McCormick
get that shot delayed. Why not foul McCormick? If it was 2% from the free throw line, foul.
But I mean, if you talking about fouling him, let me look at the all right. I mean, Manick had 3 fouls. So okay, say if he takes that foul, then McCormick.
Put in fouls. Put in somebody. I'm like,
well,
if you put in somebody smaller, they're gonna throw it to McCormick for a bucket, and then you foul him because he has the ball. And then you got a 1-on-1 situation. you don't miss the free throw, which is a turnover, and when he got the ball. And then you can get it. And while you're fouling him, when he goes to the line, you substitute him out, put Bennett back in.
But it was the game was never totally out of reach. I mean, Manic played good D. We didn't have Bacon because he had just turned his ankle. That basket only put them up. I think that put him up 3. So if you foul him, maybe he splits them, so it's a 2-point game.
Right. Yeah.
But and the person who shot the worst was Abaji. He shot the worst, but he wasn't even a factor late on. It was just kind of really Remy Martin, really, and McCormick.
Couldn't be a part for some reason.
Well, Davis was trying to help off, and then he wasn't.
You don't help off part. When he's gonna hit 2 threes on you already, you don't help off that guy.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think when Leaky Black stepped in bounds, when they started pressing a little bit, Hubert Davis should have called time. If he didn't, he should have called timeout right there. Well, Black should have called timeout anyway, but because after they got that lob, then they got another basket. It was like, yo, the lead's only 15. Then it's just like you waiting for the under 16 timeout. Like, nah, we not. I mean, but that's been the history of Carolina. I mean, it goes. I don't know if it goes. I think it goes back to Dean Smith too. They just never call timeouts.
No, well, actually, he called one, and then there was under 16. Like a back-to-back timeout situation.
Well, he called it right for the 16, but it was too late by then. Like he should have called it after that inbounds.
Right, yeah.
I mean, what you go ahead.
Oh, that's fun for me.
What you think, Parrish?
I think that the blown lead goes to a couple of the points that you and Michael made. I kind of figured that Hubert probably would do this in this game and leave some on the shelf. And it's been kind of like the history of Carolina, leaving timeouts on the shelf. I thought that the bleeding you should have actually stopped the bleeding when they came out on that run. You should have just called a timeout and stopped that bleeding then. Get your boys back together. From that point, if you notice during the game that once they got within 8 to 10, the contested shots in the second half, there were a lot of contested shots, and there were some tough buckets. And it just came down to Kansas' tougher shots were better than that defense that Carolina had. But I do think that Hubert Davis could have stopped this early on in the second half. I don't think it should have even gotten that close, to be honest. I think he should have called a timeout once they got a roll. I think after that, let's call another timeout. Let's not leave these timeouts on the shelf, because you had a lot of time to adjust. You got 20 minutes left with a 16-point lead. They made a bit of a run. I think that the right thing to do was to gather your guys. And again, as to Michael's point, slow this game down, slow this clock down for you on the offensive end, but speed it up for them on the defensive end. And they start taking a lot of shots, and they start running up and down the court. And it just wasn't the time to do that. I think there were 2 minutes. He should have called a timeout before the 16 under. And then I also think around the 12 mark, when he was going into that TV break, he should have called one then. That game should have never been that close with him waiting on the TV timeout. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm gonna let you continue. I'm looking at it right now. Nobody actually called timeout, because Love made that 3 to make it 43-31, but then Kansas kept chipping away. Then Love made another J. It was 45-33. Then Braun came back 45-45. Then Jalen Wilson 45-37. Then we get the TV timeout.
Right, exactly.
He should have took it. Yeah, he should have took it because
he should have stopped, because it wasn't the fact of it was 8-0 runs, or it ended up being a 26 run once you combine everything together. However, with the game, in the college game, you got to stop those runs at the 2 3-pointers. Somebody hit 2 back-to-back threes. Hey, man, you need to call a timeout, dude. You know what I mean? With a 16-point lead. That's just how I feel, because you got to gather your kids. You know what I mean? And I just think that game was too big for him to leave him on the shelf. You call 2 timeouts in the first 10 minutes of the second half, I'm fine with that. You still got timeouts left for the end of the game.
I don't mean to bring up the Duke game, but he actually kind of called timeout late while his own free throw shooter was on the line. I'm like, why are you trying to milk your shooter? Duke had no timeout. But he called 2 of them in less than 30 seconds. I'm like, what are you doing?
He called him to get the plan together, because Love made the first one. Then you give him a blow. I don't think he didn't ice him. He trusted him. I can see if it was Baycott. It's rare, but he still made the free throw, so it's really a moot point.
No, but the point is about the timeout. So if it all relates.
Right, but
last 2 games, he not calling timeout correctly. It relates. It's a point.
I looked over the play-by-play, and before this call, I just wanted to legitimately make sure that, points that I may have missed in the game, but I really honed in on those timeouts. And he went to the break a lot. Again, I just think you should have stopped the bleeding. That's 2 timeouts, man. Hey, you need your 2 timeouts at the end of the game, but a 16-point lead, you've got to stop the bleeding, man. And get your guys to rebound, take their time to make sure that they're making good shots. Now, I will say this for Kansas. There were, I saw it on ESPN, approximately around 50% of the shots that Kansas made last night in the second half were contested. And that's a heck of a number. That means that they're making tough shots, and that means that North Carolina was playing defense. As opposed to, they were 2 for 18 on contested shots in the first half, and they were like 18 or 37 in the second half on contested shots. So it wasn't like North Carolina wasn't playing defense. I think that the momentum shifted, and that's where it should have been on the coach to stop that.
You're right. I remember, to your point, my man shot a 3-pointer. It looked off, but he happened to make the 3-pointer. I was like, everything is falling for these refs.
Oh, that was in the first half.
That was first half?
Yeah, that was in the first half. That was his first shot. Then he hit a tough one on that wing, and he hit one in the corner with Davis helping off. But they was just on but the thing that Carolina just could not. We came out cold. Both teams were cold in the first half. Second half, we just could not. If we would just been able to be more efficient, because in the free throw line helped us in the first half too, but nobody was on. Let me read you the stats. You got Love 5 of 24, Davis 5 of 17, Baycott 3 of 13 on one ankle. Nobody, and Manic only took 4 of 8, but he couldn't get open. Maybe he was like concussed. Then thank God for Puff Johnson.
Right, and then when Puff took that stomach thing, I was like, man, that's the only dude doing something.
Because he got elbowed or something.
Right, yeah, but man, I was tired of him. That was a coming out game.
That goon McCormick, but I ain't too big on Puff Johnson, but he helped us last night, boy.
Played D. He took a charge. He hit a 3. Got a layup in the he was balling, man.
But Love ain't give us another game. He have another half left. UCLA and Duke, those are, you get what you're gonna get.
Yeah, and then I guess when he took the final shot, I was like, man, this dude, he had no chance. Then I saw, man, he fell baseline or something. I think
his
couldn't step.
he got tripped. He's supposed to come. No, he was. I think he's supposed to come around on the wing, and he probably got knocked down by McCormick. That goon. I'm blaming him for everything. That dude was terrible, man.
Foul him. Am I missing something else, dude? Don't let him go to work. Foul him.
Who are you bringing in to foul him every time? Like,
it don't matter. I'm bringing one of the white walk-ons to foul him.
Okay, so you got that guy out there. You just like foul him till getting the bonus.
No, they throw it at him because you got a mismatch and you wrap him up.
But then you run the risk of intentional foul. You know, you just can't foul. You have to foul the right way.
Okay, you have to shoot the ball, right? You have to turn toward the basket. So when he turns toward the basket, you swing at the ball.
I'm sorry. But Mike, I think what Maurice is saying is typically if you tell a 19, 20-year-old kid to actually go out there and foul, they're probably going to end up making the foul not in the same situation that you're asking them to do, because you're asking them to foul at the moment that they make a shot, but more than likely, a lot of times it happens when they're not making a basketball play, so it's an intentional, and then they get the ball back.
Well, you got McCoy. I mean, I didn't mean just anybody off the beach that's rusty. But you got other guys like McCoy, Walton, and Styles that can commit a timely foul. I mean, I think basketball IQ is high, but maybe I'm asking too much.
But
foul a free throw shooter.
But what do you?
No, Michael, I agree. I know what you're saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying it's just the timing on it always seems to mess up.
Well,
Okay, I got you.
So Mike, where are you getting this coaching philosophy to? If it's not like this, not an NBA, like you can just bring somebody in, they just start fouling, like
Yeah. Break it down to you in 2 minutes, and it's game 6. Right, you go to foul mode.
Right, but I'm saying,
foul mode.
no, I heard of foul mode, but the foul mode, the game is still in reach. Like it's not like we need to definitely put them on the line, because when most times you put people on the line, it's an open shot, there's no contest, you're almost guaranteeing points. You'll probably make 1 or 2.
Not with a guy shooting 2%.
No, you thinking about Abaji. Abaji didn't. But you talking about, is it McCormick? You talking about foul either one of them? Just foul them.
Yeah.
Okay, McCormick only took 2 free throws. He made 1 or 2.
Okay, but no. But I'm saying this. It's a 1-and-1 in college, right?
Yeah, once you get to 7.
Yeah. So we were at that 7 to 10 mark. So you had that 2 or 3 times. You have multiple times where that could have happened. That's all I'm saying.
Right, but
who are you going to use to foul him though?
You got 12 guys on the team.
He said McCoy, Styles, or Walton, one of the bench players.
But see the thing of it is, if you take out the bench play, if you put in the bench players, now that's hurting your team because you're missing out on the offense. Remember, you're playing against.
You foul out. You can substitute when they're
you're playing against a number 1 seed, who is a great team. You're not just playing against a random team here, you know. So they got great athletes. So if you just put in some random walk on off the bench, you know, that's just a foul. Like that, eventually that's gonna come back and get you. You're not just gonna be able to do that.
I'll say why not.
But I mean, but if you don't have an example of somebody doing that, like this is so hypothetical. It's almost ridiculous.
But it's not ridiculous. How can y'all make it seem like y'all never watched the NCAA tournament?
At the end of the game.
Yes, at the end of the game, they go into foul mode, and you're acting like these guys can't foul, or he can't foul because he plays 40 minutes a game. He can't foul. Bring somebody else in the foul.
Right, but we're not talking about the game is still close. It's not like we need to catch up. We need to catch up in possessions.
We need stops. That's why you stop. You stop a team with players that can't shoot free throws. I understand they're 1 seed, but then Self was actually smart enough to take him out of the game because he knew that the dude could shoot free throws, and he brought in more guards, right? So he made an adjustment.
No, took him out because we had to go small when Baycott got hurt. And also probably to get another ball handler on the floor.
And because Duke didn't shoot free throws.
I mean, I think you hack him on the hook shot. I give you that. You hack him at least. Hopefully to where it's not flagrant, and you hope you get 1 or 2, so we won't have to press and take a 3, but it was still a 1 possession game.
Okay.
I mean, it's a.
I mean, before I can't keep saying the same thing over.
Right, I know, and I hear what you're saying, but I just never seen it really happen to where somebody.
Okay, I remember the Duke game, right? Duke played Maryland. They were down 10 points, 1 minute left, and they came back and won. It was like the first time in history. They were fouled a minute. Yes.
When they were fouling Jay Williams and he missed. When they fouled Jason Williams.
Right, but I mean.
No, hold on. I thought Duke came back on Maryland.
Yes, but Duke started fouling. And y'all make it seem like nobody can foul because they played.
Okay.
Like they brought in people off the bench to foul and to make that miraculous comeback, along with some turnovers, but they fouled the right shooters.
Right, but you have to be hot enough offensively too. Like, okay, if we're gonna foul you and maybe get 1, who's gonna be hot offensively for us? Everybody was off. So we're just out there fouling. We're just out there fouling, like giving up possible free points.
But you give yourself more possession. When you have more possession and you can offensive rebound like Carolina can, you got a potential to score.
But the offensive rebounds, that went out the window as soon as the second half started. So I mean, the only thing sensible I would say is this, when they want to run, bring in Styles. Who's the other guy? McCoy. Bring him in. Foul McCormick. Go ahead and put him in the bonus, and then we're gonna play the free throw game. So you want to give people. So you want to have Hubert Davis coach that type of game.
Yes, in the game that you're trying to win. Yes.
I mean, that's what I'm trying to say. But I have to give it up to Kansas because when Baycott went down, I was like, hey man, y'all better, it's 5-on-4, y'all better score.
Oh yeah, they stopped. Yeah, they chilled. Right, they didn't score. Yeah, that was weird. They backed it up. If I was Kansas, I would have scored. So I was surprised when they just backed it down. It was like,
hey, what was the game? Baylor, when the dude Mayor went down, I was like, no mercy. I mean, get a bucket. We didn't.
Right. Yeah.
He should have been out of the game anyway because he was out there taking charges and doing everything else.
True.
We got Ian jumping in. What's up, Ian? We're in the middle of this theory of Mike's philosophy of fouling just to stop momentum. Make McCormick shoot more free throws. Maybe Abaji since they were off. So maybe it works.
That theory sounds really good. The last 5 minutes of the game, not the first 5 minutes of the second half. Kansas came out second half, went on a run. We settled for a lot of deep jump shots in that second half, and we had no legs. All of them was coming up short, and it didn't help that Caleb Love rolled his foot ankle, thanks to the hardwood floor. And as soon as he did that, they put Christian Brown 3 times in a row on him, and they got 6 straight buckets. Him in the post.
Love switching his ankle too.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I must have missed that one too. I saw him dribbling the ball and got ripped from behind a couple of times.
Yeah, that happened too. We got careless with the ball.
Okay, yeah.
It seemed like a lot of stuff that we saw mid-season of Carolina, where they just looked kind of lackadaisical and in big moments, that reared its head. And then when they snapped back out of it, by then they had a dogfight on their hands.
And guys was hurt in the fight, right?
Yeah. I didn't go ahead, Ian.
I was gonna say I feel bad for Carolina. Showed a lot of heart last night. Dealing with the injuries, just turn the season around the way they did. The way to lose like that, it hurts. But they got a lot of respect.
I definitely respect. I just hate having to. I mean, because there was no emotional hangover. I don't know if you agree with this, Henry, but everybody thought, oh, they beat Duke. It's gonna be. It looked like it at first when Kansas jumped out, like you said, 7-0. But then we ended up going on a 12-4 type. Then we ended on like a, well, at the half it was 40-25. Like they tied it up at 22. And it was 36-22. Like we was in the driver's seat then. So it was no emotional hangover. It just was a combination of continued bad shooting, somewhat injuries, and then the adjustments Kansas made, obviously. But I just hate that we blew the biggest lead in championship game history. Like,
But you know what? I do want to say this, man, and let's not get this lost in the shuffle. Again, I go back to that ESPN graphic, man. It wasn't like Carolina wasn't playing defense. You know, and it wasn't like, you know, Carolina, you know, was up by 15 and then got blew out by 15. You know, it was still a game. They still had a chance to win. But if you look at the buckets, you know, that those guys were making down the stretch, man. Kansas was just really, they were really hot. The buckets they made were key, and they were contested. I mean, tell me, you know, how demoralizing it really is, and, you know, beg to differ, but guys making big buckets and you contesting 50% of their shots, you know, I mean, it's like you're playing defense, you know, and that's just tough, you know. You know, I mean, you're hobbled, you have your injuries, you have your issues, and then you're still playing a hell of a defensive game because you're contesting that many shots. It wasn't like they had open looks. I mean, they took a lot more shots in the second half, true, but they weren't just open looks or defensive breakdowns, man. Those were tough shots, man. So again, I agree. Hats off to North Carolina for even being that close with Love rolling his ankle in it. A lot of times I didn't even feel Big Boy should even been in there, but he got a lot of heart. So
yeah, they set that record for double doubles. Because go ahead, Ian.
I was gonna say, and we forget about Puff Johnson throwing up on the court too.
Yeah, then they get hit in the stomach, you said?
He said he got punched in the stomach, and that took the wind out of him. He threw up, and he had just scored like 9 buckets for them in the second half when Black went out with his 4th foul.
Yeah.
So
that was he got much more of my respect, because I was looking like, man, do you deserve to be in Carolina?
I thought he was going to transfer, but I think now he might stick around and get a starting role next year.
Well, yeah, because
Black graduates.
Manic out, and I kind of see Love probably trying to go.
Oh, Love gone. Love played his way out. When he hit that shot against Duke, you just see the writing on the wall.
Right.
You out of there.
You already had that.
Henry, so Coach K's last game, man. I mean, how do you feel about how that went down? Like as a Duke fan, I mean, your rival close Cameron on you and kick you out of the tournament in the first ever meeting.
Oh man. I'm laughing here. Yeah.
Hey, Henry, I'm riding with you, man. You got all these Carolina guys on the call. I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
Hey,
man.
you know. Yeah, you know, it was bittersweet. It was, it kind of hurt. It stung. It was a close game, definitely a close game, and a good game. So, I didn't get to see, everything. So, I don't know exactly, some of the things that happened, but, I saw that it looks like, at the end where Love hit that big shot and Mark Williams hesitated back there, it's like, oh man, like he had that hesitation instead of coming up a little closer of Love I guess he's probably thinking Love was gonna drive by him, try to go by him, but Love just pulled up, instead. So, but that's how it went. So I think that game could have went either way. First game, was lopsided, in the favor of Duke. Second game, lopsided in the favor of Carolina, and then the third game, tight game. So, but yeah, I mean, it's gonna be kind of weird not having K, around and stuff, but at the same time, hoping that Shire can do well. He still got the recruits, coming in, so that's the main thing, and to make sure that he's able to cultivate that talent, so yeah, well, that talent for 1 year, because for he pretty much knows that he's only going to have most of them around for a year. So yeah.
Do you think Coach K should have announced his retirement?
Yeah, I don't have any problem with that.
You don't think that's a little self-serving, like, oh, this is going to be it, so let's make a big story about it and get everybody in camera and
No.
that pressure.
Because either way, even at the end, it'd be like, oh, okay, announcing my retirement or whatever. But in a big game, Carolina Duke, there's pressure anyway. NCAA tournament, there's pressure anyway. So, was it a little more pressure for these kids? Yeah, I'm sure it was more pressure because they wanted, they wanted to go out like that. But at the end of the day, it did get us to the, Final Four. But at the same time, couldn't get us any further. But yeah, I don't have any problems that he announced it early.
What are you gonna say, Ian?
I had two questions for Henry. The first question is, you said it was bittersweet. What was the sweet part?
Well, the the sweet part is that, Shire's young. He's 35 years old, and so looking forward to seeing, okay, what is he going to do? What is he going to bring to the table with these young kids? Is he going to change some things up, with the offense? What is he going to do that Coach K wouldn't do? Yeah.
All right. My second question is, does Nolan Smith leaving the staff affect y'all that much?
No, I don't think so.
I heard he was the one that was doing most of the recruiting, but
I forgot he was even there.
What? A lot Duke players don't look like Duke players of old. Are y'all? Did you agree with the Shire hiring?
Yeah, I'm fine with it. He's been there for a while, and he's accustomed to it. The one and done. I thought that he was going to be initially probably what's the guy? He went to, I think it was Pittsburgh though.
Talking about Jeff Capel?
Yeah, Capel. So, but Capel didn't hang around. I thought, that Capel would have been the guy. And then there was, but he didn't hang around. But I'm fine with Shire, at least for now. Now we'll see how he does. I give him a couple of years. If he's like missing the NCAA tournament and things like that, like a couple of years, then I'm like, wait a minute, we need to make a different move here. But as of right now, I'm fine. I'm fine with it. That, and as long as he's still bringing in these top recruits, so he's gonna have to still maintain that high level recruiting class for me, to be okay with him.
He could be your Matt Doherty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He could be. He could be. But like I said, if he's still bringing the high recruiting class, even if he's not bringing in championships like right now, I'm fine with that. I've gotten accustomed to the one and done now. So it's like, yeah, whatever that one and done brings, I already know it's not going to bring a lot of championships. But
didn't Doherty got in the Final Four with Haywood and Peppers?
No,
They didn't make.
no, that was Guthridge.
No, Guthridge took them. He took Vince Carter and them. I thought they went back to back.
Guthridge went 2 and 3 years with Vince Carter, Ed Cota, Haywood, and them. And they went back with Forte, Cota, Haywood. And they lost to Florida. And then he retired after that season. That's when Doherty came in.
So Guthridge was there for more than 2 years?
Yeah, he was there for 3.
So that's what, 97, 98. We didn't go in 99. That's what I'm saying. I think Doherty was.
We went in 99. That was when we lost to Weber State. And then in 2000, we lost to Florida in the Final Four. And then he retired. And then Doherty came in the next season. And that's when, I forgot, either we lost in the first round or second round. That was Forte's last year. Forte leaves. And then we have the infamous 2001 season where everything goes back, where it was 8-40 that we went. And then the next season we brought in McCants, May, and Felton. And then we fired him that year. And then we fired him after that season.
03.
We had Capel and Lane.
Yeah,
and we had this little star street guard. Those are some rough years.
Oh man. Yeah, I don't see it going that way for Duke because of the way what they got set up. And if Shire's already been recruiting, then it makes.
Yeah, I think they got I saw the top 50 guys coming in. I think Duke got numbers 1, 2, and 3 cats from high school.
Yeah,
did I miss that?
No, you read that right. They got 1, 3, 4, and then like 8. It's their whole starting five. Yeah, their starting 5 is gonna be freshman, and then Jeremy Roach.
Yeah.
So Roach, Wendell Moore be back, and is AJ Griffin out?
No, Wendell Moore's gonna.
Both of them.
I think Moore's gonna leave. You think Moore's gonna stay another year?
No.
Moore leaving?
Yeah, Moore's predicted as a first-round pick now, so he's gone.
What?
They're all predicted as the first round pick until the draft happens.
Yeah. Moore's predicted as the first round. You got Banchero, Griffin, and Williams as lotteries.
I can see Williams, but Griffin,
Griffin gone. Griffin
but
gone.
Moore,
one game.
Top 5.
Griffin gone. Griffin
top
out.
5?
Yeah, Griffin's top 5.
No way.
Yeah, man. Go look at all the
Who's your source?
That's group thing, man. That's just group thing. That dude got shut down.
They lying to him, man.
Hey man,
this is you talking about college versus professional, man.
Hey man, you need to stop reading that Duke Reddit page. That one. You tripping with that one?
So,
now.
Double nature.
What year is Roach?
No, I mean for real. If you look at Bleacher Report, CBS, go look at the mock draft. You'll see Griffin in top 5.
We gotta pray that he doesn't believe everything he sees on the internet.
I'm looking at draft.net, and they have Griffin. They have Griffin as a top 8, going 8th. So he's a lottery pick, but not top 5.
And Williams and Banchero ahead of him?
Now, Banchero, they have him listed as 2. Mark Williams top at 20. Wendell Moore at 22. Wow. Yeah.
I can see that. Then I guess Jabari Smith going 1, him or Holmgren.
Yeah. Or Jaden Ivey.
From Iowa.
So how they get Carolina ball that time?
The kid from
You
Purdue.
gotta understand. I mean, Duke does better. We have a lot of potential that doesn't necessarily, flourishes in college, but in the NBA they end up doing better. That's just how it is.
Yeah,
Whoa.
No, y'all got it right now. Y'all have that. Y'all can say that right now. Y'all can say
Yeah,
that.
that's how it is right now.
Tatum,
Yeah.
Tatum's the only
Ingram.
If you look at a lot of NBA
Zion.
rosters, you'll see a Duke starter on there.
Yeah, but his name.
It just is.
But his name. We're talking about Duke players that could have went anywhere and been like that dude. You're not gonna tell me Wendell Moore is he finna be that dude.
Hold up. If you look
Hey.
at the NBA injury report, you'll see a lot of Duke players on there.
I mean, not, well, at least
Zion.
at least they'll be on there. I don't know where the UNC players at.
Well, we got
Maybe
I'm
at UNC
stretching.
hospital.
Yeah. Ooh, well, we got Cam Johnson. There's probably one other I'm missing right now. Kobe White.
I'm talking about who played.
They play. Cam Johnson. Cam Johnson might be
almost messed around and got a ring last year.
right. He probably don't get a ring this year.
Devon Short.
Yeah, he played.
Now I give what's the guy from Sacramento?
Barnes.
Barnes.
Oh, yeah,
Harrison
Harrison
Barnes. I give you Harrison Barnes.
Harrison Barnes. Yeah,
Nah,
Harrison Barnes does good. He does well. He does
I
well.
mean, but what is he getting? Good stats on a bad team? That's
And said that's his career post Golden State.
yeah, he ain't. I mean, I'd rather just ride with Kobe White, Cam Johnson. We see what Sharp do.
Kobe White, where's he at now?
Chicago. He come
Then
off
he
the
get
bench.
his but see, he got benched.
No.
He's the first guy off the bench.
He cut his hair.
He come off the give instant offense when he on. Oh, then we got Greg Cole Anthony in Orlando. He been getting buckets.
Didn't he? Well, see, he's playing alongside the guy from Gonzaga, so it's kind of hard.
Suggs ain't been doing nothing.
All right, so we talking about Carolina players. Where the Jones brothers at? Tyus and Trey. They were supposed to be the greatest things ever out of Minnesota. Where the Joneses at? Where the light bright?
Well, Memphis got Trey Jones. He playing good.
Yeah.
Okay, where Tyus at?
No, I meant Tyus. I'm sorry, Tyus.
Where Trey?
He might G League.
Okay, where's Justice Winslow? Where's he at?
The Blazers.
Yeah, he's at the Blazers.
Terrible. Yeah.
He's at the Blazers. He ain't doing all that great. But
in the words of Shaq, who he play for?
Who?
In the words of Shaq, who he play for?
And I think What's-Called doing better than him. What was the one and done? Same year as Little, yeah.
Who?
Hey, y'all seen Reddick though? Reddick?
Oh, JJ called quit.
The one that got traded from Atlanta to New York?
Oh, Cam Reddish.
Oh, Cam Reddish, yeah.
Where he at?
He in New York.
He in New York. Yeah, he just hurt.
Where is he? Let's see.
I mean, he been hurt. He's hurt.
No, he ain't hurt no more. He just Thibodeau won't play him. He messed up. He should have stayed in Atlanta.
Well, I mean, what happened was they had the other guy there, and they traded him.
You mean Bogdanovich?
Yeah. So they traded him because they had him there. So they traded Cam.
No, Reddish. He said he wanted to go. He wanted to be traded.
Yeah, he wanted point
I
guard.
mean, I don't blame him. He wasn't playing much.
No,
to that place where he don't play.
But he was playing. He was getting decent minutes. Then he went in Thibodeau. He not getting no minutes.
Yeah, no, I mean, you go to Thibodeau. I mean, yeah, that's definitely. But you got Barrett. He's doing pretty good.
Barrett, yeah. Ingram. I mean, y'all got it right now. Kyrie, Tatum, Barrett, Ingram.
We got what's the guy from at the Raptors? I forgot his name. He's doing pretty good. Gary Trent Jr.
Oh yeah, Gary Trent. Yeah, Gary Trent. He came out. He came up. Yeah. So I mean, y'all got the one and done. Y'all.
Where's Marvin Bagley at? Where he at?
Detroit.
Bagley, he's at Detroit. He's doing pretty. He's starting now. He finally got away from the Kings. So you get away from the Kings. That's that's good in and of itself. Progress.
Oh man, let's.
Well, I got one more. I can do this all day. One more. What Jaleel Okafor? You tell me where he at. What Jaleel Okafor? Yeah, man. Ace Hardware store.
The same place Baco will be in a few years.
You said where? Who?
The same place Baco will be in a few years.
Oh, Baycott?
Yep. Same place.
So meet Kennedy meets
Twice this
Isaiah
week.
Hicks.
Where's Harrison Brooks at?
Oh, Garrison Brooks, he's still in college. I mean, well,
Yeah,
he's
he
done.
transferred to Mississippi State.
Now he's done, so it'll be overseas to the G League. Parrish, our our Lakers insider. What? I see LeBron out tonight. They giving up. They said they lose tonight and the Spurs win is over. You gotta unmute yourself.
Well, no,
Oh, no.
I had to get on both. Can you
I see
hear
what
me?
you're saying. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I had to get on both because I you know, saying I didn't want to be the one who has his screen black. So I had to do a couple of things. I was having some computer problems, but I kind of upset the way you segued into that. The Lakers insider. The Fakers insider should be more appropriate for this topic. You all are basketball guys who know it's a foregone conclusion that the Lakers would not even make the play-in. If you can't win back-to-back games since January of 2022, then you're not going to get in. You have 4 games left, and you need to win 3 of those 4. So we do understand that the Lakers will not make it. LeBron's out tonight. So, and also as is Devin Booker. I really don't think that makes much of a difference. Even if LeBron played and Devin Booker was out tonight, I don't think it would make much of a difference. The Lakers have no 3-point shooting and they don't play defense. AD is still not 100%, so he's a non-factor. He was holding his leg after being tapped on Sunday, going to the hole. It was a beautiful move, you know, but he hobbled back to the bench. So,
Hey, let me interrupt. So he came back, and then you tell me he got hurt again?
yes. So he came back. He had a crossover, behind the back move, went to the hole, scored the N1 against Jokic. And once he shot his free throw, he grabbed his ankle and took his shoe off for approximately 5 minutes of game time as the trainers worked on that right foot. And this is the same right foot that he injured. So it's not a new injury, it's just a reoccurring one at this point. With that said, Lakers have no 3-point shooting. They don't play defense. There's no real spark here. There's nothing. You want LA to be in the mix. You want the Knicks to be in the mix. You want the big cities always to be in the mix. That's just not going to happen this year.
Is it? Did you see it being this bad when they put that team together? I didn't think it would be this bad, man.
Well,
I gotta be honest.
No, I actually didn't think it would be this bad. I actually thought that Westbrook would be one to kind of bridge the gap. I don't know what it is. I don't think it's skill. I think it's more of a mental thing with Westbrook, being so excited to play back at home, and then to not perform at home. I really think that is the biggest key. You know, some people just can't really play, you know, the Lakers and the spotlight and everything. You know, some people just can't play at home. But no, I thought that the injuries would be a huge problem, and they always will be with AD. And LeBron is going to have to go down for a length of time just based on his age. But I never thought it would be that bad.
Can I make a remark?
Go ahead.
We can't let this slip by here. You said some guys can't play well at home. Now, home meaning the hometown that they were like born in, or like their home gym.
Well, no. What I mean is that their hometown, that home crowd. Yeah, he was a standout at UCLA, but just the pressure of coming back and actually having to perform. The Lakers is a big stage. It's the same as the Knicks. You got to play. These are meccas. It's an East Coast mecca, West Coast mecca. That's how I look at it. And I think the stage was just too big for him. I mean, he still has the skill set. I mean, he would go to Detroit or he could go back to Washington and he would be actually the best thing since, as they say, apple pie or sliced bread. But he just can't do it under the guise of LeBron, and maybe that has a factor. You got to produce in LA. And coming off that 2020 championship, actually, I'm now going to put an asterisk by it because if you think about it, health-wise, that was probably the best case scenario for AD. AD doesn't have to travel. He doesn't have to walk through airports he doesn't have to walk to the tarmac, to the private plane. He doesn't have to do a lot. He just goes home and in the ABC Disney sports facility and he rests. This thing is different now when you get into a conventional NBA season with the travel, actually have to exude a little bit more energy than 2020 actually posed to all of the players. Not just him, but all of the players. AD is just a fragile player. And you miss a half a season and think he's going to come back right now and boost you to the playoffs. If you win 1 or 2 games, you still won't be, you will not win 2 games in a row as the Lakers are right now. So.
Yeah, it's
trust me, I'm the most disappointed as anybody in this room. And I'll say that specifically to Mr. Dallas Mavericks, who's in 4th right now. So
appreciate it.
Thumbs up to you, kid.
We went through a lot of losing to get this far.
And yeah, well,
I think Westbrook is he's starting to decline even more. I'll never think he really got better at what he was weak at. And now it's just starting to show even more. I mean, he just did a lot of boneheaded stuff. Now he has cut down on the turnovers the latter half of the season, but at one point, it's like LeBron making more turnovers and not playing defense. And it's just not a good fit. And
well, it's not a good fit, Maurice, and you're correct. I mean, nobody on that team is a good fit. I mean, once you pull Westbrook in, you've got to get people who are young enough to run with Westbrook. He wouldn't make, to me, in my honest opinion, as fast as he moves. Granted, he needs to slow down, but as fast as he moves, he needs to have someone running with him. And Dwight Howard, Carmelo Anthony, Trevor Ariza, that's 3 players who can't do that. So obviously the roster is constructed incorrectly. I feel that the Lakers should have constructed this roster to actually adhere to Russell Westbrook being that guy on the second squad, and giving him somebody to run with. And then no, you don't. You eliminate or diminish some of the turnovers because they're young, but at least they're out there to catch the ball. He has nobody to throw to, so he goes down there, and once he gets in the air, it's a done deal. So, So that Lakers got older. You can't win a championship, man. This is a young guys' league, man. I mean, Phoenix shows you that. Golden State absolutely shows you this is a young guys' game. You got to run and you got to be able to shoot 3-pointers. Now what those teams have managed to do is what the Lakers have managed to actually digress in is playing defense. Those two teams and all of the top teams play better defense than the Lakers. The Lakers put everything out there when they got these old guys who can't play defense. Trevor Ariza can't play defense. Howard, Carmelo, you know what I mean? Austin Reeves, he's young, but he can't play defense with these guys. Kendrick Nunn is a no-show because of injury, but I wish him well as far as his recovery. Man, that's 5 people. And then you got the off-injured AD, and you know that LeBron's going to be injured. That's 7 people. You know, I mean, in your rotation. It's just inexcusable. I just really think that this is a top-down situation that needs to be corrected by the Los Angeles Lakers organization. And it starts at the top.
Yeah, because now they just had Magic come out and said we should have DeRozan, so freaking Magic.
Yeah, it starts at the top. You know, the biggest thing, and I'll say this in my last point, the best thing that Rob Pelinka has done since he's been the GM has been bring LeBron to the Lakers. Other than that, he hasn't done anything. I mean, nothing substantial. I mean, he brought AD in and then dismantled the whole championship team. I mean, that's your GM.
That's the GM's fault. They should have kept most of that team the way it was. I don't know what. I mean, I kind of understand the Westbrook thing, but when you said they could have got Buddy Hield and maybe you keep Kuzma or you keep Pope, definitely they said they should have let Caruso go. So it was like they just went. Yeah, I mean,
you bring a guy in who needs the ball as much as your 2 superstars does in order to get his rhythm and to actually get into the game. And that's just a bad formula when you let go 3-point shooting and defense. Because you're not going to have AD there for half the season to play defense. He's a good defensive player when he's there, but he's not going to be there for half of the season. So you're going to need somebody else. They let too much defense walk out the door. So,
yeah. What are you going to say, Ian?
I'm never going to blame the guy that shows up to work. The fact that Westbrook has been there pretty much the entire year and LeBron has missed time. Davis has consistently missed time because he's Mr. Plastic Man. Kendrick Nunn has given you not 9 minutes the entire year. No, it's just an ugly situation. And I feel bad for Westbrook because Westbrook gives the effort every night, even if it's not the best effort. Even though it doesn't look good, but he's giving you effort. You know, when you dismantle the roster and your first guys off the bench are Taylor and Horton Tucker, who all of a sudden everybody's trying to say is really good, which is not the case. You had to sign Stanley Johnson off the scrap heap. You had to sign DJ Augustine off the scrap heap. And they'll let me get going with y'all brought in Kent Bazemore as if he was gonna be your guy. You know, Golden State gave up Avery Bradley for Gary Payton II. So that's how dysfunctional the Lakers roster was coming in from jump. And the mindset of the Lakers organization and the fans was, as long as we coast through the season, we get to the playoffs, these old guys are going to carry us. But guess what? Them old guys couldn't even get you into the playing game.
Right.
So, yeah, it's top down. I don't blame Westbrook. You know, you got to play better. But like I said, when you look around, he's like, yo, I'm the one that's playing, 70-something games. and I look at the guys that are on my level, my cohorts, and they can only give you 50, 60 games. Come on now.
So you're not giving Westbrook any blame?
Say that again?
You're not blaming Westbrook any?
Westbrook, he can play better. He should play better. But again, when you look at AD, I blame Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis, as a Lakers, missed over 200 games, in which goes to Parrish saying, that 2020 championship, asterisk by it. That man had a 3-month break, essentially, before the playoffs started.
But one play now, LeBron pushed his man into AD, so you can't blame AD for that.
I don't care how the injury happens. He always gets hurt. It don't matter. It don't matter. You can put the banana peel on that court and he will find it.
Hey, don't do that.
He will shatter everything. I'm just saying.
You can't do that.
You can't do that, but he finds a way.
He gonna find it. He gonna find that banana peel.
So I can't, again.
I'm playing the organization.
You might have to put your camera down, Mike.
Yeah, the organization. He played 77 games. Westbrook has played 77 games so far. AD has played. Let's see his number. Oh, Anthony Davis has played 39 games. How can I be mad at the guy that's played 77 and not the guy that's played 39?
Well, if you got LeBron and Westbrook, that should still be enough to beat some of them sorry teams. They can't even beat sorry teams.
Well,
no, but
the problem, Maurice, is
the rest of your roster is sorry. That happens.
Yeah. The problem with playing with Westbrook is Westbrook plays fast. And the Lakers team, the roster construction is not a fast playing team. They're more going through LeBron and AD. You know what I mean? So once you get him out there, remember, I said this earlier, it's not that, a lot of times, yes, he may have been out of control, but think about who he's running with. He's like, I'm trying to run a break with Carmelo and fucking Dwight Howard.
What about Monk? What about Monk, Bazemore?
But Monk, Bazemore, and THT. Yes. Yeah.
Did you really just say what about Bazemore?
The worst Lakers players.
Did you really just say what about Bazemore?
No, he's saying the run with.
You said what about Bazemore?
I'm gonna have to go
even mention in this.
I'm going back to Kobe now. I'm gonna have to go back to Kobe. Hey, when Kobe said, "You remember them Smush Parker days?" That's basically how it is playing with them three. You know what I mean? Come on, man. You got to get one better than that.
When they brought in Bazemore, it's over. They already threw in the towel.
Well, I mean,
say that again, Michael.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. Oh, I heard you say when they brought in Bazemore is out. See, that's the thing. You bring in Bazemore to teach the young guys, not to be the young guy.
They had so many old people. They had Ellington. They had.
Again, you brought in Bazemore to be the young guy on your team. Bazemore ain't been young in a while.
But Horton Tucker's been terrible, right?
Hey, man. I got a partner who told me he was listening to the Lakers broadcast and they called him THT. He called me immediately and said, "Hey, man, there should be no guy on the Lakers team with THT as the acronym for his name, man." He said, "Man, they need to trade that dude immediately." So
no, after LeBron, and none of those dudes deserve nicknames after LeBron and Westbrook. I don't even want to call Anthony Davis AD. He's Anthony. That's not so none of them boys deserve no nickname. Take them back.
Yeah, when a guy has a hyphen in that last name, they got a guy for Atlanta, the Cagro Leonard somebody. They call him TLC.
Oh, Lawau Cabaret. Yeah, but he's just a role player.
Oh yeah, that's because they can't say.
But you know what? He's better than I've seen that guy play. He's better than
All right.
THT.
Henry, what you think about the Lakers? This
Well,
He ain't no
my issue is that, even though it is pretty much it's over, for them, is that, that LeBron has been at the end now, he's taking his time off. All of a sudden, after Mr. Durable for the last 20 years, about to miss the playoffs, and he don't want to go down with the ship. It's like, just go ahead and be there with the guys and tough it out and play. Yeah, you got your records. He was all excited about getting his records, bringing the ball to the press conference and everything like that. But at least say, okay, we didn't do well this year, but at least be on the court for for the remainder of the season. Miss it tonight. Even though it's a slim chance, yeah, there's still a chance. And so I don't know. I think that he should have been out there, to show his leadership. Yeah, I mean, you're still going to be scoring champ for this year, so at least be out there and show your leadership.
Ian, why should he stop playing? He's going for the scoring title. Why should he just abandon the dudes?
Okay, reason number one why he should not go out there and go down with the ship. Number one, you add one more game. All it takes is not playing enough time or not getting enough points to lower that percentage down. You keep that number where it is, it's set in stone. Everybody else got to catch you.
I thought he hasn't qualified for. Has he qualified?
Yeah, he does have to have qualifying games, though, Ian.
Huh?
Yeah.
He has to have qualifying games.
So he's just picking his games.
Yeah, he's got 56 games. I want to say that's enough.
Yeah, but I think that may be a few games outside.
I'm not sure how to look that up. I don't know. I've been hearing.
But and the reason why I say that is because we had this discussion on Sunday prior to the 3:30 tip-off for the Lakers, and we were surprised that LeBron wasn't going to play. And a lot of people were surprised because, he may be a little short. So he's going to have to log some games. Maybe he thinks that, he can get it against some lesser teams.
They got OKC.
End up logging it, but he has to log a certain amount of games.
Yeah, you need 58 games. He's currently got 56 games.
Yeah, so he's going to have to play one of these last two games.
So he's eyeing OKC and he's eyeing. You got
Yeah. Hey, and to Henry's point, that's that punk shit right there.
That is weak, Ian. That is weak, man.
You know what I mean? That's weak. That's weak, dog.
Here's reason number two why you don't go down why you ain't going down with the ship. We seen the Titanic. Forget that. We ain't going down with the ship. We jumping in that life raft. What's Steve Harvey saying? Kings of Comedy. Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Hey, we like to cover those.
Hey, come on, let's get this. We getting out of here. We ain't staying for this. 1, 2, 3, Cancun.
That man signed off on so many of the roster moves, man. That's weak, man. That's weak. Because Westbrook gonna be out there, and not Anthony Davis back.
And Westbrook,
I don't think it's weak.
Huh?
I don't think it's a weak move, man. He's seen this play out. He done seen what? 78 games worth of material. Like, it ain't like he needs to.
We should have been shut it down.
He understands.
He should have been shut it down. He's trying to go for the scoring time. He's trying to pick and choose. He should have shut it down.
He tried to get his team in the playoffs. He gets hurt. They lose they go on like a 6-game losing streak while he's hurt also. It's like, yo, you know what? We ain't gonna make it. We're 2 games out. We got 4 to go. On their calendar, they got Phoenix tonight. They're at Phoenix and Golden State, OKC at home, and then at Denver. They ain't winning 3 out of them 4 games, and there's a great chance San Antonio don't lose their games either.
Yeah, because San Antonio got the Trailblazers on their schedule, so there you go.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Yeah, they definitely trying to lose.
They beat Portland the other night. So San Antonio's got at Denver, at Minnesota, home against Golden State, and at Dallas.
That's pretty tough.
And no, that's not tough because Dallas and Golden State have punched their ticket. They're not doing anything. The only people that are really doing anything are Denver and Minnesota.
Well,
they're in trouble. They can't make it. You know what I mean?
And if you, Brian, you looking at that, it's like, well, let me go and start this rehab early.
I think he deserves it.
Deserve it. I mean, what?
Yeah, I mean, what, 18 years, 20 years worth of basketball? Let's get a year old.
No, well, yeah, 19 seasons. Yeah, I give you that. But he been scoring this well. Remember, this is the best season. What do you say? The best of something silly? I'm having the best time of my life.
He said that maybe like 4 or 5 weeks ago when it looked like they had a chance.
But they were still like bottom of the conference, like.
Yeah, they were like 6-7. It wasn't 9-11. I said they were at least close to 500. Now they nowhere near it. So, yeah, I'm good on that. I'm out.
Well, I do think it's a selfish move, man. You know,
catch some of Bronny's AAU games.
He'll close out at OKC, and you say who else is in there? Denver. Who else?
So they got Denver Friday, and they got to travel to Phoenix, travel to Golden State, and travel to OKC.
So he might play against Golden State because if they ain't gonna play nobody.
Well, Phoenix is not playing anybody tonight, and he's out.
Yeah,
still a better team.
So
when you look at Phoenix's bench and you look at,
but his best chance is OKC, and I'll tell you like this: Denver is going to be playing the hell out of some basketball come Friday night because they actually have a lot more vested. So
they trying to stand fifth above Utah.
Yeah, exactly. They have a lot more. They have a more interest in actually trying to finish this thing off than letting LeBron get 30 points for a scoring title. So,
all right, so here's another question.
You won't get the David Robinson treatment. 76 points.
All right, so
in the NBA.
Is it more selfish? Would it be more selfish if he sat out the rest of these games, or we came back and played just the 2 games to qualify?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
I said, would it be more selfish if he played just the 2 games, or if he just played 2 games, got the score championship, or if he sat out all the games?
I think it's more selfish that if he played the 2 games. Because that tells you what his focus was on. His focus was on Kareem. His focus was on the scoring title. And he's mailing it in. You know, if he was truly actually trying to get to the playoffs and felt that team that they put together had any glimpse of doing anything in the playoffs, he would have played Sunday.
And he saw that team and he said, nah, I've seen enough.
But once they lost to New Orleans, I mean, it was all of them was out there. Once they lost to New Orleans, it was like,
yeah,
we can't even beat.
We can't beat the Pelicans.
But props to them though. They started terrible. They're gonna make the play-in. I know they got McCollum, but they got.
I mean, again, the difference maker is the shooting. When you don't have any offensive rotation, you don't have any defense, and you can't shoot threes. I mean, tonight can be an embarrassment for the Lakers. You know what I mean? Them boys in Phoenix and then the night after tomorrow, Golden State. It's not just Steph Curry who can shoot threes. Everybody can shoot threes on those teams. And the Lakers roster was built for 2-point baskets. I mean, this is not the freaking 80s. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to shoot the three. You know, I don't get it. I don't know what Rob Pelinka was thinking about. You've got to be able to shoot 3-pointers. Let me ask you this. What team do you actually know in NBA outside of the playoffs that could actually say, hey, we got a 20-point deficit here. We absolutely have no 3-point shooting. What are their thoughts going through their mind? Are we going to close this deficit by shooting twos? Or do we tend to get blown out by 50 because they can shoot threes? So, I mean, and they don't play defense. So it's like, come on, man. The roster is terrible, man. You cannot compete. Obviously can't compete with a John Morant. Can't compete with a Devin Booker and the roster that they put together. But you think about it, those guys defend and they shoot threes well. It's about the 3-point game. The Lakers get down by 10 and they cannot catch up. Or even if they go on a 10-0 run and catch up, they'll get blown by 18-2 run because somebody just hit, you know what I'm saying, consecutive threes. And it's so funny when I'm doing the highlights. It's not the one person hitting the threes. It's like the whole team in threes. So we can't even, it'd be some dude from fucking, you know what I'm saying, some obscure college who just got up and he hit 2 back-to-back threes against the Lakers. So we can't put him in because nobody knows him, you know. But 2 more people do the same thing. So it's just ridiculous, man.
It's been terrible. I want to before we close, I just want to go around real quick, get everybody quick response. Who you got for MVP? I'm before I put that, I want to say this. I don't really like the whole storyline thing that's put into it. I'm seeing that more and more now. I guess as the years go by, I feel like it should be. I don't want to just go off best record, but I gotta feel like more so probably like John Morant because they came out of nowhere. Then I'm like, when is Devin Booker gonna get his respect? But they're saying Embiid, they're saying Jokic. I mean, Giannis making another push. So just, I guess starting with Henri, who you guys MVP this year?
So I kind of agree with you. I think, it should be, I would go with Booker. I mean, he averaged well. He had the best team in the NBA, and despite Chris Paul going down, they didn't fold. Yes, he's missed some time, but I agree with you. I don't like how he's not even really in the conversation much. Is Jokic, and I mean, it's like Denver. Look at their record, and it's like, how is he MVP? And he's not like, yeah, he has great stats, but he's not the leader in any of those categories.
Well, what it is his PER. All the analytics guys going crazy over his PER. It's like best ever.
Oh, you started to listen to it.
Huh? You said what?
The player efficiency rating.
Yeah, it's like all-time high. So, and he's missing Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray, but they're in 5th. But they got a better record than the 1st in the East or something. I'm trying to make sure here. No, they ain't got a better record than Miami. 47 wins. Philly and Milwaukee got 48. So
but I mean, you're 5th. Like you're 5th in the West. You know, and yeah, I mean, Murray's been missing a lot of time. So I mean, it's almost like you can't even count him. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't, give it to him. I think it should be Booker personally. But I can see the argument for Morant as well, for what he's done, with Memphis. So.
Go ahead, Mike.
I'll take the road less travel. And I know he'll never get it because it's Trae Young. He
Trae
finally
Young.
got all. You saw what he did to the Nets. Even though Durant dropped 55, he came in and scored like 9 straight points to seal the game while they were doubling him. I know the MVP goes over the whole season and it goes to the teams for the better records. I mean, I understand that. So it probably will be Booker. But I just want to give a shout to Trae Young, man. I think he needs some type of consideration, maybe top 3. But yeah, Booker will probably get it.
But you always get on Trae Young for his defense. They're just getting above playing this late in the season because they were bored. It wasn't as exciting.
They were hot. They hot now. Like they got something figured out.
No, they're motivated by the end of the season. That's what it is, because they don't know how to play. They don't know how to beat Detroit.
So, but that's what it takes to be high at the end of the season, the playoff stuff. And they might win the play-in, win the first round upset. So these Hawks, man, y'all better watch out.
So wherever they're getting, you see them beating Miami or Boston in the first round.
Yes.
Oh my God! No, you're just saying that. No, I'm not buying that.
Okay, especially Boston. Now, Boston's good, man, but Hawks, man, y'all better watch out. They'll go 7. They're gonna get blown out.
Well, yeah, I'm just gonna move on. Ian.
Mike, are you driving back from the liquor store? You got to be drinking with that one. Come on, man. Stay off the bottle. Get home to your family safely, please, and keep that Trae Young. Keep that to yourself. I said, better yet, no, throw that up like Puff Johnson did. Throw that just all the way at your body. Get that all out. That was horrible. Mike.
Last 10 games, second step.
But you can't go off just recent. This is
I understand that, but you make it seem like I'm like, yeah. So second step, last 10 games.
But I mean, but what about Luka? What about? I mean, I can see a case for him or who else? I mean, higher than Trae Young. I mean, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I only know I'm wasting energy trying to explain myself.
But go ahead. It's your time. Go ahead.
Yeah, please don't explain that. All it's gonna do is make you more mad. My MVP would be Giannis. He's putting up numbers like he did his past MVP years, 30 points, 11.5 boards, 5 assists. His win share is 12.4, PER at 32. He's making his free throws. He's not scared of the big moments, like you saw last week when he beat Philly and Brooklyn. So, yeah, get that man the award, 3-time MVP, and let's get ready for another finals run.
So,
yes, I am biased.
Yeah, you saying Giannis? I mean, has he? I know his free throws have gotten better. Has he gotten better than anything else?
He's 72% free throw shooter. I mean, what else does he need to get better at? Does he need more? Does he need more rebounding?
No, I would just say definitely probably outside shooting. Obviously, that's what you want him to. You want him to shoot jump shots.
I think the fact that he's not scared to take jump shots is the biggest thing. He's not scared. He knows when to take them. He's not scared to take them.
Okay, they had some injuries.
Yeah, we just got Lopez back. Lopez literally missed like 70 games. He played the first game of the year and then just came back a couple weeks ago. So we got him. We got Ibaka. We got Portis. Middleton and Holiday have been there consistently. I think guys are figuring out their roles, and they're getting themselves ready for next week, basically playoff time.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them come out the East again. I wouldn't be surprised. I think Phoenix right now. I'm just thinking Phoenix. If anybody, they would want not meet Milwaukee again.
Yeah.
One quick comment. I heard that when Miami wins 50 games, they've made it to the finals. When that happens, like their track record from past seasons, Spolstra. Yeah. So
Well,
something to look out.
Yeah, Miami's kind of weird, but they they could again. They got the experience. I just don't. I don't see them beating the Bucks. I definitely don't see them beating the Bucks. I just don't see that.
I'm just intrigued with how the matchup's going to play out because I think everybody in that top three that top two want to avoid Brooklyn potentially. Because I mean, Brooklyn, even though they're going to be a low seed, I don't think you want to start out the playoffs with a 7-game series against Kyrie and KD.
You don't. I mean, with that offense, but they don't play no defense, and then
They're not gonna make it.
They already locked in. You talking about past the play-in?
They're not getting out of play-in.
All right.
You think they're gonna get knocked out to play in?
Yeah, because they don't play no defense, man. They don't move their feet. The guys they send the most. No, actually, hold up. I'm getting my stats right. They lead the league in like other teams' free throw attempts. So they got the ability to give up easy baskets, and they just, Durant and Kyrie are spectacular, but you need the others as well. And I don't see.
I think
check the last 10 games.
Yeah, they've been. It's weird. Yeah, they're gonna have to win too.
All right, so the way things are looking right now, Cleveland's in the 7th spot, Atlanta's in the 8th spot, Charlotte's in the 9, Brooklyn in 10. So you would have Cleveland and Atlanta playing first, Charlotte and Brooklyn playing against each other. Loser of that game is out, and then the winner of that game is the loser of the Cleveland Atlanta game.
Right.
If you think Charlotte puts out Brooklyn?
Probably not. Probably Cleveland might, or I don't think they have to face Atlanta. Okay. Oh, they might get an 8. They might get an 8, but
I think Brooklyn prefer to play. They'll have a better chance against Cleveland if the Hawks are playing the way they're playing. Because it'll be a shootout and it's gonna be in Atlanta. So right. I would. I think they want Cleveland with all their injuries and missing people.
Yeah. And then let's just say Brooklyn gets to that 8 seed. Your first round match will be Miami. Brooklyn, Miami start out the playoffs. And Brooklyn just beat the brakes off. Brooklyn just beat the brakes off Miami last weekend.
Yeah.
They gotta get in there. They gotta win too.
Yeah,
It can happen in one game.
Yeah.
But I'd rather have the Red on my team though. That dude was remarkable.
Yeah. He just don't do well when it comes down to making the last shot. Like he don't face up right to me. He don't make a good face up move. Like he just take this tough shot. I don't understand what he does unless he's like in transition, but coming out of a timeout, it's just like 1-on-1 and they don't look good. He not making it.
Right, it's clear out.
Yeah, he getting trapped. Parrish, who you got for MVP? Who you got for MVP?
I'm gonna go with the young fellow, man. I'm gonna go with John Morant, man. I like what he's been doing, man. You know what I'm saying? Just something fresh face to this whole thing. Uh, we tend to talk about so many things with all of the people who are pretty much veterans in the game. I like the position that his team is in, and I think that is all based on him. To be honest, remember, this guy has vaulted this team up to one of the top 10 teams in the West. So I'm not a huge stat guy on him. I think he's good for the game. I think he's exciting for the game. I think he brings a mix of shooting and that basketball IQ as well as explosiveness. So I'm gonna roll with Ja Morant on this one.
Yeah, I can see if they roll it. They arguing against him though. The team is 18-2 without him. I just think I have to look at some of them games, but competition probably didn't get up. Like, oh, Ja not playing, or they were some bad teams, but they beat some good teams in that span too. So
right, but I mean, that isn't that what it's about? I mean, even when you're not there, I mean, he's done better than street. He's done better than street clothes. AD ain't motivated nobody. Street clothes, goddamn. He break out the new goddamn the new rope and everything. At least John actually, when he break his rope out, they get a win. So I don't know, man.
AD got the freshest threads.
I don't know what he was
I
thinking
just
with
think
the
that
cutout
he's done
jeans
more
on
for
though.
the game, and I think he's done more for the game in Memphis in a long time. And that has to be a valuable person to your organization. That's a valuable person to your league, to be honest. So,
Well,
I mean, he's young. I like it. I like the youth because these guys that we're talking about, these mainstays, I mean, it's time for some new blood now, man. And I think he's ushering in that.
Time out. Will he ever be able to bring another star to Memphis? Or he don't need it?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I can't answer that right now. I think that he is the likely franchise player for that organization. But you know how free agency is. Free agency actually busts chemistries up all the time. So, and in this league where the player has more options than when I grew up, loyalties change within a check when a check signature, so.
Yeah, he'll definitely I think he's built up enough cachet, so to speak, or whatever rep that next year the storyline will be built. It'll be him or Luka. If they stay on the same track, they're gonna start trying to give. It's just kind of the way it works. It's like you have to build it up enough, and then the writers and everybody start believing it. Like, okay, because you rarely get that Derrick Rose. Remember, he popped out in 11, even though LeBron went to Miami, that hurt his case. Then Derrick Rose, 60 wins, like, oh, he the MVP. But when you look at it every other time, it's usually you get canceled out by because you got too much talent, or it's pretty much a storyline. Like, okay, this person doesn't have this, or look at this guy based off last year coming to this season. He should be, because I thought it would be Luka. I thought we was coming up on Luka, but they get top 3 seed next year, definitely. Because this year it's really Steph Curry, but they messed it up.
Well, I do agree. I mean, I think Luka and Ian, saying because he's a Mavericks guy covering that team. Memphis and Dallas have really made very positive strides. as to where those two guys have actually took their team, and I think that I would have said Luka. I just like Ja's game a little bit more. But when I look back at it, I do agree. They have had very positive impacts on their team since last year. And I think that's what a most valuable player should be considered as. You know what I mean? And you just can't be at the top with all these guys. You know what I mean? It was like, hey, okay, well, you're going to be the MVP this year, or I'm going to be the MVP this year because you scored more points. I think it does have to do with what you brought to the team, what you brought to the organization, and what you brought to the league. I think that they should actually kind of weigh more things on that as well.
And they were pushing. It was really a push for Embiid because with the Simmons stuff. So that's why he's still. Embiid might get it, but Giannis making the late push. So it's gonna be one of them 3 big guys. It's kind of already like, because I think they vote like the season ends on the 10th, so they already got their ballots, and everything I've been listening to been Giannis, Embiid, and Jokic. So
yeah, well, I guess it's the big man's year then.
Yeah.
and that's fine. But I do think that, because those guys have already been there, I think we need some fresh, some freshness to the NBA.
Surprised nobody said Jason Tatum. I said I'm surprised nobody said Tatum.
I think that push came too late. He's gonna get some of the votes from what I'm hearing.
Yeah, that second half of the year, they went crazy after they were like the 10th seed at the All-Star break, and now they the 2 seed.
That trade too. That trade actually.
Bringing in boy from
White.
Derek White and getting rid of Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah, he ain't even employed right now, is he?
He was in Houston.
He must be riding the bench with John Wall, just getting paid.
Well, when you saw him at the airport. This man turned down $80 million from the Lakers.
Can't feed my family on $80 million.
Boy,
all right, Spreewell.
Spreewell said, I gotta feed my kids.
And we know what we know what those words mean. Train wreck.
But yeah, so we'll see how it pan out, man. But we got college basketball done, so NBA playoffs coming up. So we'll see how it folds out, man, after this play-in thing. So I appreciate y'all for coming on, man. Talk about it. Good seeing all y'all, and we'll hopefully do it again in the near future. Keep driving safe, Mike.
Hey, Maurice, before we close out,
after that bottle, Mike,
can I do the Rock Chalk Jayhawk song?
No.
Hey, man,
No.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Parrish.
Peace.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
All right, y'all. Peace.
All right, peace, man. Appreciate y'all. Oh, it's been fun, folks. We appreciate you so much. Everybody coming on. Mike, Henri, Parrish, Ian, to talk about how the college basketball season ended. Once again, congratulations to the Kansas Jayhawks. They got my boys, but maybe next year, maybe in a few more years, will be the bounce back. What a run by Hubert Davis. I'm your host once again, Maurice Dixon of the All Basketball Podcast. Remember, folks, subscribe. Wherever you listen to podcasts, you can find this podcast. You can catch the visuals on YouTube by just searching All Basketball Podcast or subscribing there as well. Appreciate your time. I'm Maurice Dixon. Until next time, peace and be blessed in Jesus' name.